June 29th. The year is 2026. The world is still. Here is what happened. The United States and Iran have agreed to stop exchanging strikes in the Strait of Hormuz. A United States official confirmed the agreement to stand down, saying commercial vessels will now be able to move through the waterway freely. Talks aimed at ending the broader war are expected to continue. The two countries signed a ceasefire agreement less than 2 weeks ago. It included a permanent halt to military operations on all fronts. That agreement came under pressure this week after an Iranian projectile struck a cargo ship in the strait. The United States responded with strikes on Iran over the weekend, and Iran then struck United States bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. The United States said none of those strikes reached their targets and there were no casualties. Iran has not publicly confirmed that it agreed to halt strikes in the straits. Separately, the United States helped broker a framework agreement between Israel and Lebanon on Friday. The leader of Lebanon's Hezbollah group rejected that agreement and accused the Beirut government of undermining Lebanon's sovereignty. Two days after it was signed, the Israeli army struck a tunnel in southern Lebanon it said was used by Hezbollah to store weapons. Iran has said hostilities in Lebanon must stop for a wider ceasefire to hold. More will be known in the days ahead. A Ukrainian drone strike set fire to an oil refinery in southern Russia overnight. The refinery in the Krasnodar region processes close to 4 million tons of crude each year. One person died when debris from a downed drone fell on a nearby town. Another was hurt. The president of Ukraine said the strikes also reached a second refinery in the Yaroslavl region. Russian authorities had not confirmed that second strike. The president of Russia acknowledged for the first time that the country is facing fuel shortages. He said Ukrainian attacks on oil infrastructure would not affect the war, and vowed to protect the facilities. The president of Ukraine described the strikes as long-range sanctions aimed at reducing Russian resources. Western analysts say the campaign has caused widespread fuel rationing across Russia and slowed battlefield advances. The Russian leader also rejected a Ukrainian proposal to limit strikes and confine fighting to 4 annexed regions. The war is now in its 5th year. Talks remain at an impasse. A heatwave across Europe has been linked to more than 1,300 deaths since late June. The head of the World Health Organization said the deaths are excess fatalities connected to high temperatures. France alone recorded around 1,000 more deaths than expected in less than a week, most among people aged 65 and older. Germany recorded its hottest day ever for the 3rd day in a row, reaching 41.7 degrees Celsius in the east of the country. The Czech Republic set its second temperature record in 2 days, and Poland broke its all-time record as well. The World Health Organization chief warned that Europe is warming at twice the global average, and that once-in-a-generation heat waves are now occurring nearly every year. He called on European governments to put heat health action plans in place. Authorities across the continent have closed schools, canceled public events, and stretched emergency services to respond. At least 74 people drowned in France during the heat wave, most in unsupervised rivers, lakes, and ponds. Storms are forecast to move into western areas in the coming days, which may bring some relief. Congress passed a major housing bill this week. It brings together about 40 separate proposals aimed at making housing more affordable. The President of the United States has said he will not sign it unless an unrelated voter ID measure passes first. The Speaker of the House said today he is confident the President will sign the bill as early as tomorrow. Among the changes, the bill would reduce some federal regulations that make building housing more costly. One example is a rule requiring manufactured homes to be built on a chassis. A standard experts say no longer makes sense. The bill would also create a fund to reward state and local governments that take steps to make it easier to build. A housing researcher at the University of Pennsylvania said the housing problem looks different depending on where you live. In some cities, the challenge is housing quality. In others, it is simply the cost of rent with no cheaper option available. He said affordability measures capture part of the picture, but low-income renters often face difficulty even when the numbers suggest they are managing. Whether the bill becomes law will be clearer in the coming days. A major heat wave is moving across much of the eastern United States this week. More than 130 million people were already under heat risk conditions on Sunday, and the affected area is expected to grow. Temperatures will reach into the 90s and low hundreds Fahrenheit, with humidity pushing the heat index as high as 115 degrees. The National Weather Service said the heat will affect large cities along the East Coast and through the Midwest and Great Plains. A meteorologist with the service said this is heat that could affect anyone outdoors, not only the elderly or very young. Overnight lows in the 70s and 80s will offer little relief, forecasters said. A high-pressure system is acting as a barrier, pushing storms around it and limiting rainfall across the region. The heat is expected to last into next weekend across the Great Plains, the Southeast, and the Mid-Atlantic. A mother and her 18-day-old son were pulled from earthquake rubble in Venezuela. She had been trapped for more than a day, holding her baby in the dark with a leg pinned under concrete. She told the BBC her son gave her the will to stay conscious. As long as he was breathing, she said, she would keep going. Rescuers heard her when she screamed at the sound of her brother's voice nearby. Both mother and child survived, though she suffered injuries to both legs. The baby had only minor harm. Her husband had been outside when the earthquake struck and feared they were dead. He said seeing his son alive felt like being born again. The family lost their home and all their belongings, and their dog is still missing. They say they will begin again from nothing. The earthquakes struck Venezuela on Wednesday and have killed at least 1,450 people. Tens of thousands more are still unaccounted for. Search efforts are continuing, though the chance of finding more survivors is growing smaller. Here is what happened. The world is still.